Statutes on Westlaw for the Environmental Legal Research course at Boston College Law School. If you have the citation to a statute, the quickest way to get there on Westlaw is to type it in the Westlaw search bar. This can be done from any Westlaw screen since Westlaw recognizes citations and will pull up the document cited. This is 42 U.S.C. Section 9601, the first section of CERCLA, the Comprehensive Environmental Response Compensation and Liability Act. At the top of this code section, there are two places you can see how this section fits into the code. The first is above the effective date, where there are links to the larger units of the U.S. Code. There's a link to Title 42, Public Health and Welfare, which contains CERCLA, and also links to the chapter and subchapter that this section is in. The second is the Table of Contents link on the bar directly below the tabs. Looking at the code section in context lets you quickly find additional code sections you need to read. This section only contains definitions. Later sections set out rights and responsibilities under the Act. Because this is a long code section with many subsections, it also has a section outline. It helps provide an overview of what is included in this code section and also allows you to jump down to a relevant subsection you are interested in. Below the text of this code section, we see the credits, which provide references to the public laws that enacted and amended this code section. There's also a link down here to the Notes of Decisions tab. A statute means what it says, but more than that, it means what a court says it means. When you are asked if a particular statute applies in a particular situation, you aren't being asked to speculate. You're being asked to research the case law that interprets and applies the statute. Notes of Decisions provides references to cases interpreting the code section you are viewing. These notes were chosen by editors to help researchers find relevant cases interpreting specific legal issues relating to the application of this statute and are organized by topic and can be viewed either procedural or alphabetical order. They can also be filtered by date or jurisdiction. The History tab provides references to proposed legislation or cases that could affect the validity of a statute, editors and revisers' notes, older versions of this section, and some legislative history materials. Because statutes change over time, it is important to be sure the statutory language interpreted by a case is the same language as in the statute today. The Citing References tab provides links to all the documents in Westlaw that cite to this statutory section, organized by content type. When a document is added to Westlaw, it is searched for citations. When the search program finds a statutory citation, it adds a reference to that new document in the citing reference sections of the Westlaw display for that statute. Once you've selected the content type you are looking for, you can filter the results by a variety of factors or run a Boolean search within the results set. Cases citing this code section can be filtered by jurisdiction and court, date, whether the case is reported or not, and whether or not it was selected by West editors to be included in the Notes of Decisions associated with that statute in its annotated code. For those cases which were referenced in Notes of Decisions, KeyCite allows you to select particular Notes of Decisions to view or search the cases selected for inclusion under that topic. You may also select multiple filters to help you more quickly find those cases within your jurisdiction that seem most relevant to your research inquiry, letting the computer search power do the initial screening so you have more time to read the potentially relevant cases. The last tab, Context and Analysis, provides additional editorial references that were selected for inclusion in the print version of this code. State codes on Westlaw have the same editorial features and characteristics as we just saw in the U.S. Code. If you have a statutory code citation and are unsure of exactly how to format your statutory citation, you can click on Statutes and then your jurisdiction, or you could have done this in the other order, choosing your jurisdiction first and then Statutes and Court Rules. To get access to a fine template for statutes from that jurisdiction under Tools and Resources. For example, California's Monarch Butterfly and Pollinator Rescue Program is in Section 1374 of the Fish and Game Code. Use the template to type the section number in the box and click Go to go directly to that code section. You can get to a number of major environmental statutes on Westlaw through the Energy and Environment Practice area. Select Statutes and Court Rules. Here are links to major federal and state environmental statutes. By taking the link to CERCLA, you can now browse or search this part of the U.S. Code. If you don't have a citation and are not sure where or how to search for a statute, Westlaw codes have searchable, browsable indexes found under Tools and Resources, which can often help identify the relevant section or sections of the code. This can be especially useful in environmental legal research since relevant code sections could be spread around the code. In this example, we see the California Statutes Index for dams and reservoirs. California codes have sections relevant to dams and reservoirs in the Water Code, the Fish and Game Code, the Penal Code, the Health and Safety Code, the Government Code, the Public Resources Code, and the Civil Code. There's also a popular name table for each state code under Tools and Resources. Here in the California Statutes Popular Name Table, we can see references to the Gas Policy Act, the Gas Wastage Law, the Geothermal Resources Act, and the Global Warming Solutions Act. If you need to run a full text search to find a statute, it's a good idea to first select the code in which you want to search and then use the advanced search screen. Restricting key terms to the statutory text field will allow you to look for language in the statutory text itself rather there and in the notes of decisions.